Oh, today we're going to have FUN, fun, because we're going to do your Star Review 10. Ho, 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 ho. So a magical whiteboard appears, and let's start rocking and rolling on Star Review 10. Hopefully these lines are getting easier to grab. So on the first one, we got y greater than or equal to -5. Notice these are inequalities now. Since we have y equal, we're going to write down HOI. That means we have a horizontal line, a zero slope, and we have a y equal line. So we're going to have a y equal at -5. There's an equal bar, so that means it's solid. And we're going to draw a line like this. So this would be a zero slope. Since we wrote down HOI, if it's Vux, it'd be undefined, wouldn't it? Okay, so we have our first line. We're going to shade it later. But this line would be shaded up. Now we're going to go to our next line. We got y equal 3x plus 4. Y, and it's going to be less than or equal to 3x plus 4. We're going to shade this later. So the slope is 3 over 1. This is my slope right here. And my y-intercept is positive 4. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept at 4. So I'm going to put a dot. And I cannot go up 3, right 1, can I? If I go up 3, right 1, which my slope tells me to do, I'll go off the graph, so I got to go backwards. So I'm going to go down 3, left 1, down 3, left 1, down 3, left 1, and that forms my line. Since there's an equal bar right here, I'm going to draw a solid line. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun. Going to the next one. The slope's -1/2 and the y-intercept's -3. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept's like your starting amount or your starting number. So we're starting at -3, and our slope tells us to go down 1, right 2. So we're going to go down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, and then we're going to go backwards. Up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2, and I'm going to get a solid line through here because it has an equal bar, and it's going to look like this. And notice we have a triangle again, don't we? The base of the triangle, now then let's get our triangle. The triangle's from here to here to here. This is the base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our base is 7 units long, okay? And the height is right here. It's 1, 2, 3 units. Okay, this is it's not right. It's a scaling triangle because none of the edges are the same. Find the area of the triangle. It's going to be 1/2 times 7 times 3, which is going to be 21 over 2 or 10.5. 21 over 2 or 10.5. Most of the time from now on, you'll leave it improper. So you'll leave it 21 over 2. Now then, what order pairs do number 2 and 3 intersect at? They intersect right here, which is -2, -2. And circle the ones that are part of the solution. Now we're going to actually shade these, okay? So on this one right here, the red line's going to be shaded up, and the blue and the green line will be shaded down. If we shade these down, notice we would shade in the triangle, wouldn't we? So everything in this triangle would be part of the solution set. Now then, we're going to graph the ordered pairs. If the ordered pairs are in the solution set, it's going to be part of the answer. So -1, -4 is right here. That one works. 0, -2 is right here. That is not inside the triangle. It won't work. -2, -3 is right here. It's in the triangle. So we're going to circle it. 1, -4, right 1, down 4 is right here. Notice that is also in the triangle. We're going to circle it. Those ordered pairs would make the 3 inequalities true. And lastly, 5, -4. 5, -4 is right here. That is not in the triangle, is it? So we will not circle it. So basically, you're drawing a triangle, you're filling in the triangle, and you're figuring out what ordered pairs work. Let's keep going. Number 9. Remember, on these problems, I want you to draw these. A big square is x squared, a rectangle is x, and a little square is a 1. So we have x squared plus 3x minus 2. We have one big square, we have 3 rectangles, and we have 2 shaded squares. Now then, the key here is this minus. That minus is going to bluebell truck and switch these signs. So on this one right here, we'll have -2x squared minus 3x plus 6. These are the shapes we need to draw. So negative 2x squared would be two big rectangles, but they would be shaded. And then we have minus 3x, so we need three shaded rectangles. And then we have plus 6, we need 6 open squares. Now then, once we cancel out, we'll get our answer, won't we? Once we cancel out, we'll get our answer. We can scratch out a set of squares. So we have negative x squared, or negative minus 1x squared. Notice all of the triangles are going to scratch out, right? So we won't have any x's. And then right here, we scratch out a square, scratch out, we have plus 4. So negative x squared plus 4 would be the sum of those two. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Let's keep going. Number 2, this is the distributive property. We can model this with tiles. We have 2. We have 2x minus 5. Let me make that rectangle the same size. And then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squiggle in these. And then we're going to draw our answer rectangle. Our answer rectangle looks like this. Then we slice the answer rectangle up. It's going to look like this. And all of these squares are going to be shaded, aren't they? So just squiggle them in. The answer is what shapes you have. So we have 4 big rectangles. That's going to be 4x. And then we have 10 shaded squares. That's minus 10. And look what happens when you bluebell 2. When you distribute 2. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. It works out, doesn't it? Y'all are getting really good at this polynomial arithmetic. Y'all are doing awesome. Right here, x minus 1 times x minus 2. We have a rectangle with 1 shaded square. And then we have a rectangle with 2 shaded squares. This is going to be kind of tough because we got a lot of shaded stuff. So we're going to draw our answer rectangle. And then we're going to slice it up. So we slice here, here, and here. And now we're going to shade in. Okay? So a positive times a negative is a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. These down here will stay positive. And then up here, this will be shaded, this will be shaded. Notice all of our rectangles are shaded. And that's going to be a negative x in the answer. So we have 1 big x squared. We have 3 shaded rectangles. And we have 2 open squares. X squared minus 3x plus 2. Ho, 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 ho. Going to number 11. Number 11, same thing. We're going to draw rectangles. So this right here would be 3 shaded squares. Then up here we have 1 rectangle and 3 open squares. We're going to draw our answer rectangle. We're going to slice it up. And now we're going to shade. So let's see, a negative times a positive, these will be negative. And then a negative times a positive, all of these will be shaded, won't they? Notice what is going to happen to the rectangles. The rectangles are all going to cancel out, aren't they? So all the rectangles go away. So all that's left in our picture is 1 big x squared and 9 shaded squares. X squared minus 9. I will show you after Christmas how all this works out when you multiply. Number 12, F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. This one right here. If you want to find this, if you want to find the domain, this is your domain. And you want to find the range, okay? You're going to graph this. You're going to graph, and then you're going to hit Control-T. If they give you decimals, you got to graph trace. So we're going to do x squared minus 6x plus 5. So we're going to go to our calculator. We're going to go to graph. And we're going to do x squared minus 6x plus 5. Needs to be minus. Needs to be x squared. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 5. I'm going to hit enter. Now that I'm going to hit Control T, Control T for my table. Go up 1 spot so I can get my 0. These numbers right over here are going to be the answers. So at 0, I got 5. Or I'm sorry, 0 it's 5. So go to my paper. 0 is 5. At 1, let me go to this. 1 I have 0, and then negative 3, negative 4, negative 3. So 0, negative 3. So 0, negative 3, negative 4, negative 3. This right here is my 0 in it. So if I input 1, I output 0, that's the x-intercept or a 0 in it. Going to number 13. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, on 13, you've got to be able to give it an equation. You've got to tell us the slope. This right here is endpoint slope. This right here is the slope. The point would be positive 2, negative 2, right? So our slope is negative 3 over 4, and our point is negative 2, 2. This is my x, this is my y. Remember, it's backwards endpoint slope. You start with the y's, okay? Go into the next one. So we have 2x minus 3y equals 18. Remember, the x flips, the y goes on the bottom. So if I flip this x, I'm going to get negative 2x minus 18, and then the negative 3 goes on the bottom. 2 negatives makes a positive. Remember, in this form right here, your slope is negative a over b. So this right here is negative. The opposite of a negative is a positive, and my slope's going to be 2 over 3. The x and y intercept are generated by dividing. So 18 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9. That's my x-intercept. 18 divided by negative 3 is equal to negative 6. That's my y-intercept. The x-intercept's also called your 0 in it. So the 9 would also be the 0. Let's go to the next one. Remember, the slope is negative a over b. Right here is negative, so my slope's positive, and I have a 1. So my slope is 3 over 1, or just 3. The x-intercept is 6 divided by 3, which is 2. The y-intercept is 6 divided by negative 1, which is negative 6. So if it's in standard form, you can easily get your slope, your x-intercept, and your y-intercept. Easy, easy, easy. Let's go to the next problem, number 14. We got to find the slope. So we got to get 2 grid points. So I'm going to go down this line. It's going down, so the slope I know is negative. And then it goes right through here, and it goes right through here. Most of the time, the y-intercept will be a grid point. Now then, I'm going to go down, and I'm going to go over. Since I'm going down, I went down 3, I went over 2. My slope is negative 3 over 2. Ho, 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 ho. Number 15, we're going to put this in a spreadsheet. And we're going to run a regression. Menu 413, right? So you would do menu 413. And then X down, Y down, enter, right? Okay, so let's go to our calculator. 4, 15, 25. So I'm going to hit home. I'm going to hit 1. I'm going to add a spreadsheet. Remember, you got to put the X and Y at the top. Now then I need to go to here, and my X's are 4, 15, and 25. So 4, 15, 25. Let me get the 15 in there. Enter, 25. Go back up here. Go to the spreadsheet, and 5.65 and 15. 5. Oh, too many crickets. 5.65 and 15. 5.65. Enter, 15, enter. And then we have 23.5. 23 and 5/10, actually. Okay, now then remember, that blue box cannot be on a number or it won't work. And you can't have a cursor flashing in it. So I got my numbers. Now then I'm going to do menu 413, menu, statistics, backwards. Statistics is 4. Then stat calculations. I want a linear regression 3. And then X down, Y down, enter. And right here is my M and my B. So my M is 0.85 and my B is 2.25. So I'm buying each gizzard for 85 cents and the drink costs $2.25. So I'm going to go back. It's 0.85. The slope of this table would be $0.85 per gizzard. And the equation's 0.85x plus 2.25. So if I were to put 20 in here, I would get my answer. So I'm going to go to the calculator. I'm going to hit home. I'm going to hit A to calculate. And 0.85 times 20 plus 2.25. And I get $19.25. So this right here would cost $19.25. if we went out to 20. Notice it's between those two, so it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Okay? Continuing on, turn the page. Number 16, fun, fun, fun. These three problems are huge on your STAR test. You need to know what all of these definitions mean, okay? Okay, so number 16. We have $30 on a romantic getaway. Emma Sue loves Captain D's. They go there and they get stuffed crabs for $5. So they start off with 30. That's my starting number. And this is my growing number. The growing number, they're spending the money, so it's going to be negative 5x plus 30. Okay, the slope of the line is negative 5, and it represents $5 per stuffed crab. Fancy stuff, Captain D's. Oh. You want a real romantic date, guys? Take her to Captain D's. Number 17, the y-intercept is the 30 in it. And it's the starting or the initial amount of money. On your STAR test, it'll say initial amount of money. And remember, this right here, this is my y and this is my x, right? So those are the x and y axis labels. The x-intercept of the graph would be, remember, you're going to do 30 divided by 5, aren't you? And you would get 6. So they could get 6 crabs and they run out of money. It represents 6 crabs. Sorry about that. 6 crabs equals $0. They run out of money, right? Now then on this one right here, we're only buying stuffed crabs, so the money's going to go down by 5. So we're going to start up here at 0.30. And then we need 1 crab, 2 crabs, 3 crabs, 4 crabs, 5 crabs. At 6 crabs, we have no money, do we? So if you input 6, you output 0. This right here would be 1 crab would be $25. 2 crabs would be 20. 3 crabs would be 15. Notice we're just dropping 5 every time, aren't we? 4 crabs would be $10. 5 crabs would be $5. And at 6, you would have no money, would you? And the X would be the number of crabs. And the Y would be your dollars, would it? So this would be a discrete function. You would not connect the dots because you're not going to like go down. Your money's going to drop by $5 every crab. So let's do number 20 next. What's the domain of this function? The domain of the function is the number of crabs. And it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or actually 6. You could go to 6 crabs, can't you? You need one more number, don't you? The range is the money, the amount of money left, or the money left. They start off with what, 30? But remember, you always go small to big. So we're going to do 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We need one more number, 30. So my domain is the number of crabs, and the range is the money. So the domain tells me how many crabs I could get. The range tells me how much money I have. Let's go over here to number 19. You're going to put this into InSolve. So, going to go in here, menu, 3, 1. And then I need 11, 4 minus 6x. So 11, parentheses, 4 minus 6x. Close the parentheses. Keep that other parentheses there. Plus 5, 13x plus 1. Plus 5, and then parentheses, 13x plus 1, close the parentheses, equals, and then equals 9. That's it. And then remember, you got to put comma x at the end. So comma and then x. So I have my equations, make sure it's right. This is kind of hard for me because I can't see the problem. I'm going to hit enter, and I get 40. So my x is going to be 40 in it. So this right here, x equals 40. Now then, next year, you're going to have to show some of these steps. So you can't just do InSolve. So right here, you're going to do InSolve. Put the answer here. You got to know how to do these steps. On this one right here, we're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to take 5 and multiply it times the x plus 3. And I'm going to take 2 and multiply it by the 10. So I'll get 5x plus 15 equals 20. I need to move the 15 over. Remember, I want to get the x all by itself. I'm going to get 5x equals 5, and if I divide by 5, I'm going to end up with 1. That's exactly what you should get for NSolve if you put it into NSolve. Let's go to number 20. Number 20, we need to use our calculator here. On this one, please use a spreadsheet. So you'll do xy, you'll do 8, negative 3, and you'll do negative 12 and 12. You'll write a linear regression. Do menu 413, x down, y down, enter. I'm going to do this by hand. So from 8 to negative 12, I'm going to the left 20. That would be negative 20. From negative 3 to 12, I'm going up 15. The slope is delta y over delta x. It's going to be 15 over negative 20, which is going to be negative 3/4. That's exactly what you should get if you do the spreadsheet, okay? On this one right here, write the equation in slope-intercept form, y equal mx plus b. So this one right here is going to be y equals negative 3 over 4x, and then I need to find my y-intercept, and I need to do, you would put this in NSolve. If you did the regression, it's going to give you the m and the b, and I did it backwards here, so let me figure this out. I'm going to put it way down here. So I have negative 3 equals negative 3/4 parentheses 8 plus b. So if I solve that for b, I'll get negative 24, negative 6, moving over, plus 3. So this right here would be the equation for this line, okay? I'm going to erase this, so I'm going to do it next. If you run the linear regression, you'll get the m and the b. The m should be negative 0.75, and your b should have ended up being 3. So negative 3/4 x plus 3. On to the next one right here. You're going to do y equal mx plus b. You're going to plug in the numbers and solve for b. So this is my x, my y, and my m, and it's parallel, right? So that means the slope won't change. So my y is 3, my slope is 2 over 5, and my x is negative 10 plus b. I need to solve that for b. You would put this into NSolve and solve it for b. Okay? I'm going to do it in my brain. Negative 2/5 times 10. It's going to be negative 20, negative 4. Move it over. I'm going to get b equals 7. So my slope doesn't change. So it's going to be y equal 2 over 5x plus 7. Okay, so remember, if it's parallel, this slope will not change. If it's parallel, the slope won't change. You just got to find the new y-intercept, and you can do that in NSolve. Okay, on the next problem, we're going to have a perpendicular slope. So I'm going to do 5 over 3 and change to the perpendicular slope, which would be negative 3/5, wouldn't it? You flip it and change the sign, don't you? Okay, so we're going to put an x and a y, and this is our m. We're going to do y equal mx plus b. So our y is 2, our slope's negative 3 over 5, and parentheses, our x is 10 plus b. You would put this into NSolve and solve it for b. Please do this on the calculator. Okay, I'm going to do it in my brain. So negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. Move it over. I'm going to get b equals 8. So this is my b. This is my slope. The equation would be y equal negative 3 over 5x plus 8. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. We are almost done. Fun, fun, fun. Let's keep going. On this problem here, we have varies directly. So the price varies directly with the size, and we're buying chocolate cocoa. Oh, 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 oh. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so Jiminy John purchases a 20 ounce for $2.40. Let's find out the cost per ounce. So we're going to do 2.4 divided by 20, and we end up with 12. So every ounce costs 12 cents. Bubba Bob is going to purchase a 42, and it wants how much will both cocos cost. So I need to add up 20 plus 42. I'm buying 62 ounces of cocoa, aren't I? And I'm going to multiply that by 12. So we're going to go to our calculator. 62 times 0.12. And you would get $7.44. So $7.44 for both drinks. Ho, 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 ho. Fun, fun, fun. Number 23. Silsby Septic is giving Jiminy John a $200 Christmas bonus. Oh, oh, oh. Gotta love working for a septic company, guys. And $12 for each hour he works. This is a starting number. This is his growing number. So we have 12x plus 200. Okay. Bubba Bob works for Evadale Paper Mill. Oh. He will receive a $150 bonus. That's his starting amount. And get paid $17 an hour. That's his growing number. So we have 17x plus 150. You want to solve that for x. Okay, because we want to find out when they have the same amount of money. So we could solve it for x with insolve and just put comma x, or we could do it by hand. I'm going to move the 17 over. I'm going to get negative 5x plus 200 equals 150. Move the 200 over. So I have negative 5x equals negative 50. Divide by negative 5. And at 10 hours, they have the same amount of money. So if they work each 10 hours, they would have the same amount of money. Going on to the next one. Okay, I want a line that's perpendicular to the x-axis. That means this is the x-axis. It needs to make a T with the x-axis, and it needs to go through 2, 1. So it's going to do this. Okay, this is a vertical line, so I'm going to write down VUX. The V stands for vertical. The U is undefined. My equation's going to have x, so it's x equal 2, and the slope is undefined. What a magical time this has been. What a great day. Hope you have enjoyed doing this. We are almost to Christmas break. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.